Hey, Lulu.
Hey, everybody. How you doing today?
Hi, Lulu. Good. How are you?
Good. Let's see. Is there anybody here for the first time that's never been here before? If you'd like to unmute yourself and just say hello, let us know you're here.
Hello.
Hello.
This is MF in Iowa.
MF?
Hey. MF. Yep.
Hi, MF. Welcome. Glad you're here.
Thank you.
So tonight, Pam is going to co-host the meeting tonight with a subject that she has chosen for tonight, that she would like to share her experience with and would like to hear from everybody else on the subject. So let's open it up, shall we, Pam?
Okay, welcome to Lulu's Way Healthy Food, Healthy Life meeting. My name is Pam, and I am grateful for the opportunity to be your host this evening. In order to keep the meeting free from distraction, we ask that all in attendance please mute yourselves unless you are speaking. We also ask that you keep the video mode turned off if you are doing anything else other than sitting and participating in this meeting, so we can minimize distraction. In this community, we gather to support, encourage, and inspire on the benefits of nutrition, weight loss, wellness, and the joy that comes from choosing to serve yourself well. We are not medically trained, nor do we have formal training in nutrition. We come together here for the sole purpose of providing support, sharing experience, and promoting a healthy lifestyle. It may be wise to check with your healthcare professional with any dietary suggestions or advice you receive from this group discussion, particularly if you have health challenges. Individuals in this group may have different ideas on how to eat healthy. Just figure out what works best for you and do it your way.
Very good, okay. Pam. Thank you. Just
Thank you.
Yeah, just one moment. A lot of people have hopped on since you started reading. Is there anybody that just hopped on that's never been here before that would like to unmute and let us know you're here?
Marie, I was here last week for the first time, but I didn't say anything last week. So
okay.
This is where
well, welcome back, Marie. We're glad you're here.
Hi, Marie. Welcome.
Very glad you're here. I think you and I just had a conversation on Facebook, didn't we?
Yes, we did. Yes.
Okay, I recognize your name.
Thank
you.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to our group. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you. Me too.
Is there anybody else here that's never been here before? Just a quick unmute and say hello.
Hi.
Oh, Lainey?
Yes.
Hi, Lainey.
Hi. This is all new to me.
Welcome. I hope you hear. I hope you hear just what you need to hear tonight. And I hope you get inspired.
Good. Nice to see you.
Yes.
Thanks.
Anybody else new that wants to just say hello? Okay. So Pam is going to open it up with the topic that she has chosen.
Well, I've chosen the topic of budgeting and being on a fixed or low income and trying to maintain this lifestyle. I find it a challenge at times, but I have also found a lot of ways that make it easier and that it's actually becoming less challenging. So I guess the first way we can start is there's a couple of things I utilize. I utilize my county-run food bank. There's actually 2 of them that I can use, and they're once a month. However, they both provide fresh produce. With the fresh produce, you need to be prepared to take that produce home and either cook it or clean it up, process it. Those Rubbermaid Brilliance containers have changed the world of getting like almost on the way out produce, because I have put stuff in there that was a little iffy and it's lasted 4 days.
Wow.
And that wasn't the case before I had those containers. So that little investment made a big difference because I'm wasting a lot less and able to utilize them. And then, so also something I do is an app on your phone. It's a free app, and it's called Flash Food. And you download the app, and it will connect you to whichever supermarkets in your area or nearest to you that participate. And it's basically their way of getting rid of their near to expire, or so maybe it's a little crushed on the package, but they have a refrigerator and freezer set up in the front of the stores, and you order on the app and pay for it, and you go into the customer service and just tell them you're here to pick up your Flash Food order, and it's ready for you. They have what they call a fruit box or a fruit bag and a veggie bag. It's $5. Well, in most, this is how it is in my store. I don't know if all the stores are the same pricing. And this is the regular Stop and Shop, one of the bigger stores in my area. And I've gotten the produce that way before, and it's just fine. It's not rotten. It's not like squished or bruised. It's just fine. I find a lot of times what I'm discovering is like they have just those tomatoes on the vine, and one or two loosened up off the vine, and they can't leave it out there. They got all the new fresh ones, so they put them aside and put them out like that and get rid of them, get them out of the store. So I've been really successful with that. I've been happy. And in the back of that store, they also have a produce cart. And again, it's like if there's one or two bananas that came off the bunch and nobody's going to grab that one banana, they put them in a bag and sell them for 50 cents or 99 cents or whatever. So I always check that first. I try to check them once a week to see what I can get. One of my other big scores were eggs through the Flash Food. I needed eggs, and the basic Stop and Shop brand, nothing fancy, not good for you eggs were $4.79 a dozen. And I said, I won't do it. If I'm going to pay $4.79, I want free range or one of those big ones. They had the Eggland's Best in the Flash Food for $2.49 because one was broken in the dozen. So they tell you you're getting 11 eggs. So that's been a couple of big players in being very helpful and utilizing those things. If you have to check on them frequently, they're always different. But I think it's been helping make a big difference with being able to then buy some of the other things that I'd like to have. Let's see. So I think the groceries and the food bank, I also, like at the food bank, you can always get beans, oatmeal, and those, pantry staples. And I would love to get like steel cut oats or the nice big oats and the ones that are made more grown and produced more better, I guess. I don't know exactly what the word is, but I go ahead and take those cut oats that I get there because I don't have to pay for them instead of paying $5 for the fancy ones. But then I can go ahead and buy myself the nice fresh beets or the fresh peppers that I want because I love those in my salad. So I kind of sacrifice, in a sense, certain things, maybe quality-wise, but I use that to my advantage so I can get more of the fresh vegetables that I really, really want and I think are the most important in my diet. So the other thing I do, a few things, I haven't purchased meat in a long time. And when I do get meat, I generally use 2 ounces and then so it's a half a serving, and then I use beans just so the meat goes stretches longer. And if I am only having the meat, I generally don't eat more than 3.5 ounces, just to kind of stretch it again, like the chicken, or when I have salmon, because I do get salmon at the food bank, and that's a big bonus. But so I do that, and for most meals, I mean, I really don't feel that I'm hungry or deprived by doing that. But I do feel like it's helping me keep at a good budget. And grains, I know white rice is basically the cheapest. However, my doctor did advise me not to utilize the white rice. It's not as good for me with the sugar and that. So like today I found this market on the way home from my scans, and the Japanese sweet potatoes were $1.99 a pound. But I really wanted them. I haven't had them in a long time. So I got 2 narrow, like I'd say small to medium-ish. And I had half tonight, and I'll have half tomorrow. It was only 3.4. But that's okay. That's what I do so I can use it twice. And I don't go ahead and say, well, let me make some white rice too. I'm satisfied with that. And I know everything I do isn't probably right for everyone with those types of things, because you might be hungry. But I've been doing it for a few months now. I'd say since the summer, when it got a little harder because my rent and all kinds of crap went up really high, and things got a little harder. So it doesn't bother me what I'm doing. I feel like I never skimp on my 16 ounces of vegetables. I will go over a 1/4 of an ounce on a vegetable rather than, even come to the amount on these. And back in April, I didn't discover them. I did try the Lundberg, I think that's how you say it, rice cakes. And they're totally out of budget. And so what I've discovered is, I know Nicole mentioned ordering them from Lundberg. They are the same price. However, now that I ordered once, I get coupons. So I had 25% off. So I've got some quinoa and some black pearl rice and rice cakes for about 9 months. I will make them last. Because you have to reach, I think, $60 or $65 for a minimum for free shipping. So I spread it out. I buy it all. I make that purchase, and then that's got to last me. It's going to last me for 9 months. But I don't have to buy grains or rice cakes or any of those things now for a good 9 months. And with the coupons, it made them like $3 and change rather than, I think, $4.79 each package of the rice cake. So to me, that's a big savings, and I really like those, and I don't want to eat the other ones anymore. So that's something else I do. Let's see. A lot of times I get the salad kits in the food banks. And I try to choose the ones that have a balsamic vinaigrette. And because again, olive oil, I like using olive oil and avocado oil. And I do like to buy a better brand of that. So I kind of ration it out a little bit. And when I get that vinaigrette packet, I utilize about 1/4 of it to 1/3 of it towards my salad, but I put no oil. I don't use my oil on my salads. I use it for my cooking and for other things. I get the little bit of oil I get from those, and I just add extra vinegar and with salt and pepper, whatever seasonings. Again, because the olive oil, when I make that purchase, I like it to last. And if I want to spritz my vegetables when I roast them, and I use my spritzer, I don't pour it in the pan. The spritzer really helps to utilize a lot less of it, and you actually get enough for what you're doing. So also the canned vegetables are pretty easy to get at the food bank. Do I love them? No. I like the string beans, so I usually just focus on those and carrots. But I will use a can, and I will use it as a 3 or 4 ounce supplement to stretch my fresh. So I'll open a can and use it for a few days, and that way, because I don't know, I don't care. They're all right frozen, but if I have a choice between frozen and fresh, I want the fresh. So rather than spending the money on the frozen for my backup, I go ahead and get the free ones and use those in small quantities to spread out and make myself be able to have more of my fresh ones that I like so much. And those lentil patties, the Pam's patties I made, they were an experiment, and I'm still working on it. But because I do get a lot of lentils, dried beans and lentils, and I didn't know what to do with them. But the one thing I'm trying to do with the lentil patties is come up with a way for a binder without using an egg. Because there are times when I can't get the eggs, and I don't want to waste them as just a binder. I want to eat them as an egg or hard boiled. So I am still working on that. So I'm going to come up with a way to get those to work. I tried mashing up, like cooking down a white bean. I think it was white bean or chickpea. I can't remember. And mashing it into a paste to hold the lentils together. Held a little better, but not quite there. So that's still a work in progress. Let me think. I do also do soups when it gets cooler. One of my favorite things to do when you get a whole head of cabbage is not cabbage, cauliflower. When you cut everything off, but you have there's a nice amount of stalk and those big fat leaves, and cut them up and boil them. And then use your immersion blender and season. I weigh them first, and then I boil them, and so I know what veggie is going into that small pot, what amount. And I create a soup out of the scraps. The celery tops and leaves go in there. You can do carrot, whatever you have on hand, but those are the big ones to use up that part that you might not utilize otherwise. You might throw them away. And then I just kind of make that usually up, and I mark on my container, this contains 6 ounces of vegetable, and then I freeze it. And then I have it for a time when maybe I'm short or it's cold. And so that I like using, and I was happy. I think Nicole told me about using like the Swiss chard or something to use the whole thing, all the leaves all the way down, and even the beet greens I didn't know. And so I use the whole thing, the beets and the whole beet greens, and eat all of that. So I think that's all I can think of. Let's see. The processing is big. I've been learning more about how to process the foods as soon as I get home. Like, my Brussels sprouts I got last time, those 2 giant stalks, that ended up being 3 pounds of Brussels sprouts. Now I can't eat 3 pounds of Brussels sprouts before they get bad. So I blanched them all, and I froze 2 pounds. And I made roasted ones tonight. So I had those tonight. But those were out at the food bank in a grocery basket. When they're outside, you can take all you want. When something is outside the door. So I took the 2 that I found that looked the best. And so there's sometimes you get something like that, but you have to go home and do it right away. You have to go home and figure out what to do with it, how to cook it, how to prepare it. And the buying in bulk sometimes is helpful, like with the rice cakes. And yeah, that's the main things I have. So if anybody would like to make more suggestions. I'd love to learn more. Or any questions?
Thank you so much, Pam. That was wonderful presentation. Very well put
Thank you.
Very well put together. I just have I have a couple of questions. Well, I wanted to reiterate the Rubbermaid Brilliance. Thanks to Kathleen, who's here today. Kathleen suggested those, and I tried them, and I was like, oh my God, these are the best. And so a way to make your food dollar go further is to not have things go bad and not have to throw anything away, and those containers really help with that. I also have a question. This Flash Food app that you were talking about, do you have to qualify to be on that app, like for a low income? No. Low income, it can be anybody. Okay.
It's just an app, and it comes. You have to put in your location. I just do it, and I have one store that's anywhere near me, and it's actually the one I can walk to, which I love.
Oh, great. So basically, it's just it's stuff they need to get rid of. It's gonna all spoil if it doesn't get used.
They're clearing. I mean, it's shelf stable stuff too. It's not only the fresh stuff. There's meats sometimes. It gives you the expiration date, like expires today or whatever. And it changes throughout the day.
Yeah. Oh.
So if you need, like when I needed the eggs, I watched it until I found them, and I grabbed two packages.
So when you say you watch it until they show up, you have to go to the store, or is it on that app?
No, I just go on my app.
On the app, it says everything that's there.
Yeah.
Wow.
You can just go in it anytime you want throughout the day, or like if I know I'm going to the grocery store for a few things, I'll check it first and see what I can get on discount first. I got my, not long ago, I got balsamic vinegar. It was half price. Then, of course, there was a whole bunch on the shelves, but I was walking, so I only got one. So I went home and told my mom, and she went and got me another one. But
that's good.
But I couldn't carry them. Yeah. But
well, great. It sounds
like to walk too.
Yeah. So it sounds to me like you want this really bad. You want to follow this food plan really bad.
Yeah.
And so
I guess it sounds that way.
Yeah, and you don't want to see how you can't do it. You want to see how you can do it.
Because for a long time I was using the finances as an excuse.
Right.
They were, being on disability. When I had the other two of my boys still in the house, feeding them in college and all that, that was always an excuse. Yeah. Oh, I can't buy the food to feed them and worry about all this fresh produce for me.
Right.
It was always part of the excuses. Yeah.
So I just want to share my experience. Okay, so I, as far as food and budgeting, I really don't have a budget. So I'm coming from a different space, and I'm just going to share my experience, because even though, I walk into a grocery store and I really don't even know prices, because I get whatever I want. I just know that that's the number one priority in my life. So there's other people that are, maybe going to the grocery store and skimping on quality or not eating healthy or whatever, but they're spending a ton of money. Like they just to me, it's like, are you going to go buy the $50 new purse and say, I can't afford to get produce this week? You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, I think about where I'm frugal in other areas. So it's not like I'm just like, and I'll get this, and then I'll go get any grocery I want, and then I'm going to go buy all the dresses I want. I'm going to go buy a new car. I want a bigger van. I want more. I want stuff. I think you all know me enough that you know that that's not me. But there's just, I shop at thrift stores to get my clothes. I wear things out. Like I wear out a vehicle. Every vehicle I have, when it's time for a new vehicle, it's because I've taken it to the dump. It's got to go to the dump. It gets towed to the dump, right? Because it's got no more left in it. Same with my phone, I don't wait for I'm not out getting the next phone, the next new updated phone. When I get a new phone, it's like the last time I got this phone, it was it's a Galaxy 10 or 20 plus or something, and I was bringing in a Galaxy 3, and I mean it was like a dinosaur. By the time I went in there to get the new one, maybe about 5 years ago, and I was like, the guy brings out the new phone, and I had the two phones next to each other, and I was like, meet your great grandfather, you know, because that's what I do. I don't need whatever new bell and whistle it is. You know what I need? I need good food. That's what I want. I want good food. And it's about, I guess I'm encouraging anybody to just think about your priorities, and also you can think about the money that you spend to stay unhealthy, because that's expensive too. When you stop going to restaurants and you stop going into the convenience store and you stop getting ice creams and you go and stopping and getting bags of chips and going through the takeout drive-throughs and Dunkin' Donuts and all that stuff, you stop doing that, you got the money for the store, you know, because I just know that, like, you know, before I was eating healthy, maybe my grocery bill was smaller because I was spending it on junk elsewhere, you know. So just because your grocery bill looks bigger at the grocery store when you start getting fresh, just remember it's likely, you know, it's likely all you're eating, you know. And even though, you know, I can go to the grocery store and get whatever I want, you better believe I don't throw anything away. And I make sure I am keeping track of everything I have in the order that it needs to be eaten. It doesn't matter if I'm in the mood for chicken tonight, when I have chicken and fish cooked and I'm like, nope, the fish has got to be used up first, and then I just have whatever needs to be used up first, because I don't like waste. So so that's just two different perspectives with Pam and I, you know. So and so,
well, and I think sometimes you come from, like, I wasn't doing all those other things before either, though, like ordering out, wasn't eating all good things, but I wasn't spending money on restaurants and takeout and alcohol, or, you know, any of those extra pocketbooks and
Well, you know, you're doing it, Pam. You're doing it because you have been following this food plan for how long?
Well, the very beginning, 15 months, 100% since February.
Yeah. And what's your total weight loss?
Another 1.5 pounds.
Another 1.5 pounds, and it will be 100 pounds, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
98.5 pounds Pam has lost since she started this plan. And what kind of a price tag can you put on that?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and that's it. That's why I feel like, you know, I have to drive a half hour to one of the food banks. The other one's 20 minutes away. I have to do these other things, but it's all worth it for what's going on, for what's happening, and doing it for me.
Right. Good job. My goodness. You're killing it, Pam. You are killing it. I'm so excited.
Just doing my thing over here, Lulu. Yep. Just doing my thing.
Yep, and you're making it work. Yep. You're not looking at the obstacles. You're just looking at this. You're not looking at the problems. You're looking at the solutions. Yep. And I'm just like, I'm seeing your face in the square, and your face just looks different every week. You know, you just look like a different person, and you're just a delight. Let me just tell you that you're a delight.
Thank you.
You were a delight then, and you're a delight now.
Don't embarrass me.
Okay. So you want to open it up, Pam, for everybody?
If I get to keep going, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
So do you if you call up participants, then you'll have everybody in the right order that they put their hands up.
I'll just go from the corner. Yeah, I'll just go. So it would be Vicky. Vicky, you're next.
Okay. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Vicky.
Hey, Lulu. You said just about everything that I wanted to say to Pam. But
well, if you can say it again.
The one thing that I think is so important, Pam, so proud of you that you are making this work for you. All of your additional effort and thinking how you can bring in those healthy things to give you, what you need to succeed. So feel
Thank you.
really good about that.
Thanks.
And it definitely shows, definitely.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
I think I'm somewhere between you and Lulu. So I'm still basking in the joy of not having a higher grocery bill from all the garbage that I used to buy.
Yeah.
Because all the, the Cheez-Its and everything else I used to buy, the gallons of ice cream, that was very costly.
Right.
I'm vegan now. I was telling a friend what I'm eating, and she says, I think you're vegan. I didn't even know I had turned vegan because I found that lentils and beans are much more cost effective.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was turning more away from like chicken and those kinds of things. And I feel satisfied with that. And so I find, if I can get a can of beans for 88 cents, I'm like, yay. So.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I'm almost all the way vegetarian now because the tofu also is cost effective.
Yes.
A block of tofu, I think it lasts me 3.5 meals or 3.5 servings. And it's only like, I think I'm paying $1.50 something.
Yeah.
So I eat very little meat.
Yes, me too. And it happens slowly. The tofu
it
well, and it lasts a long time, even in the refrigerator.
Yes. So there's a good buy, a good sale. Yeah,
absolutely.
Right.
Yes.
So
good for you, Pam.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Good. Thanks, Vicki.
Okay, Kathleen.
Hi, Kathleen.
Oh, unmute, Kathleen.
Thanks. Hi, everybody. Oh,
Hi.
thanks, Pam, for taking the time to give us such details. That was really, really encouraging and helpful, and I really appreciate it. I kind of watch my budget too, probably not to the extent that you do, but I did look up that app that you just spoke of. And, I live in the middle of nowhere, and I did a 67-mile radius, and there's no stores that do it. So in more rural areas. But I do want to mention an app that I love. It's called Flip, F-L-I-P-P. And it's free. And you pick your favorite store. You put your location in. I just have my zip code. And you pick your favorite stores in your area. And then whatever you're looking for that week, like I like Yukon Gold potatoes. I type in Yukon Gold potatoes and it tells me all the stores or the store where it's on sale. Or like I really like organic chicken thighs, skinless, boneless. You plug that in and it shows you the stores in your area. So I really love that because it's made a huge difference in my grocery bill. It's really a nice app. And
so
you can do
sorts through all the sales.
Yeah, and all the flyers are right there if you want to see them. Like I do Aldi's, and we have Harris Teeter and Publix and Walmart and Food Lion. So there's about 6 stores that I can choose from, and so I'll go to whatever. Like, it's really good.
It will tell you it will tell you like how much it is a pound at each store.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
That's nice. So I like that one.
Yeah, and so even I'm looking for organic arugula, it'll tell me where it is, and then I'll see what else they have on sale. So sometimes I just do all my produce at one store, and then if there's meat on sale at another store, I usually go to a few stores anyway.
Yeah.
So that app is really good. Mm-hmm. And I also wanted to mention something that I do that I found in this area. I don't know if it's the same in other people's areas, but early in the morning, I go into the meat department and they have reduced meat there. I do great with that. I just bring my cooler and I load up. And today I went to Walmart and they had the really good grass-fed hamburger in a 3-pack. And for the 3-pack, it was $4.38 off each one. And there were 3 of them there. So I got all 3. So I picked up 9 pounds of hamburger and I saved $13. And I just stuck them all in the freezer. So that's really good. I don't know if your grocery stores in other areas do that, but here I can get it at a lot of really nice grocery stores. And I've gotten some really good fresh lamb and all kinds of stuff.
So you're saying that they put that stuff out first thing in the morning? Is that
Yeah,
is that what
like
you see happening?
It's the last sale day, and so you've got to use it. What I do though is I always take everything out, and I have 100 million brilliance containers, so I always open all the packages and repackage them and label them so that I know that they're fresh.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
That's just what I do. Like, I don't want to be putting meat in the freezer that's that's the last sale day and not have it be good. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that's just something I do, and I can package it up into smaller portions so that everything's ready to be grabbed. Like, if I buy something big. Flip it. Okay, and I wanted to mention too an egg substitute. You had talked about ground flax. Like a tablespoon of ground flax in water is consistent with like 1 egg. I know a lot of people that don't eat eggs use that as a substitute to hold as a binder.
Now, but what about that along with your plan, Lulu? The flax seeds, does that have to count then?
That would be under nuts and seeds.
Nuts. Oh, so it's still a protein.
Yes. So you could so you could use, instead of an egg, like for maybe you could use, like, I don't think that you'd use a whole ounce of it, like the way you would use an egg. In the I'm talking about the Pam's patties. Maybe you would use a quarter. Maybe you would use a half an ounce of the flax. Start there.
Right.
Half an ounce, and then use a 3/4 of the beans, of the lentils.
Right.
So it would be 3/4 would be 4.5 ounces, right? 4.5 ounces of lentils would be 3/4 of a protein, right?
Yes.
4.5 lentils and a half an ounce of flax. Try that.
I see.
See how that works.
I will. Yeah. I think I'm actually going to go to Trader Joe's. I wonder if can I get a smallish container there of the flax?
You should be able to get it. Yeah, right where all the nuts and seeds are. You should be able to find the seeds.
Okay.
Make sure they're ground though. Make sure they're ground, not whole.
Well, I can ground them.
Okay. Yeah. When you use them, make sure they're ground.
Because I have a food processor.
Good.
But yeah, we're dying to get my sweet potatoes. I haven't had them for like a couple of months.
I haven't had mine for a while because because I've been on the road, and I'm like, I am really missing my sweet potatoes. So I just had my big Texas meetup, and like 3 people brought me sweet potatoes.
Oh.
I was like, thank you. Thanks. Now I'm up to my own.
At Trader Joe's, they're not by the pound. They're like $1.39 for one.
Oh,
it's different.
Right.
So I always buy the biggest one, and then I get lots of servings out of it.
I'll tell you what they are at Whole Foods. They're $2.99 a pound.
Well, I paid $1.99 today and got 2 small ones. I didn't even look. I wanted them. I had to have them.
Yeah. No, because I think $3 a pound is a little high, but that's Whole Foods.
Yeah.
Right,
but then you can find an in between.
but I tell you, when I just had them in my dinner, and I was just like, oh, this is so good. I missed them.
I know. I enjoyed my half of one tonight.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
So thank you, Kathleen. That was great.
Okay, thanks, Kathleen. I'm glad you shared that app too. I'm going to check that out. I love to sales shop. Marie, you're next.
So I was thinking, Pam, when you were saying about like the olive oil and avocado oil and things, I go to Aldi for that. And I get the organic, and it seems to be more reasonable than any other store. Okay. So I've also gotten rice cakes from there. Trying to think of what else. They have good, I know you're trying to stay away from the frozen, but they have good prices on the frozen, and so it's like my go-to store. I'll go to Aldi first, and then what I can't find there, then I'll start to spread out and see what's available. But there are some really great apps that everybody was sharing, so that's good to know because I know what you're saying about cost-wise. My husband is following the plan along with me. Ooh. And I'll make like this much salad and it's gone the next day. And I said, I have to find a way to be a little bit more mindful about doing this. And
Yeah.
But like somebody was saying too, between the ice cream and the garbage food and everything.
Right.
So I'm going to be saving my receipts and seeing actually what it does come out to.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never think to track stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm going to start tracking it just to see really how bad I think it really is when I compare to buying crackers or cookies or whatever else gets thrown in the shopping cart, So,
Well, and if you're both doing it, then you don't need that stuff in the house for anybody else. It's
wonderful that he can follow along. I feel very grateful.
Is he on the men's plan? Do you know that there's a men's plan?
He's kind of doing his own thing. He's always been high on vegetables and things like that, but also like the junk. We just had his birthday and we had ice cream cake and everything. I went in the other room and sat in a corner and rocked, but it was fine. I'm over it.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah, sweat a little bit,
I know, nothing like ice cream cake, huh?
Oh man.
Oh well, you just make it a thing of the past. That's all.
Well, just like cigarettes, it's like how many cigarettes do you have? I'm an ex-smoker as well, and it's like one is never enough. So the same thing with cookies or anything, it's never enough. So I have to keep that in mind. That's how I quit smoking. I was having a cigarette thinking about my next break. And I said, this is insanity.
Yeah.
I can't keep doing this.
I know.
So same thing with the bad food. It's like, it's just never enough. So what is the point?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then boy, you add up the expense of smoking.
And the health.
Yeah.
And the health cost. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah.
It's costly. Thank you, Marie.
Thank you, Marie.
And
hello, friends.
Hi, Rebecca.
Hi. So, Pam, I put in the chat that you're my hero.
I didn't look at the chat even. I'm so focused.
So, your story just uplifts me and makes my struggles seem so much lighter. And I appreciate you for that.
Okay.
I thought maybe psyllium husk might be an option for a thickener.
Oh, I've read about that.
I've used it when I made, when I was dehydrating vegetables, I made vegetable wraps in the dehydrator, and they used psyllium husk in that to bind it together. So I just thought that might be an option. I don't think psyllium husk would really even register on the plan as anything, would it, Lulu?
I don't know. I was just, as you were saying that, I was thinking, I'm kind of thinking it's more like a supplement, really.
But it's
it's kind of.
I think it's an insoluble fiber. It just goes right through you. They call it the gut cleaner.
Yeah, so it's a supplement. It's a.
I think it would be.
It's like a food supplement. It's not really like a food. Yeah.
Yeah, you can get it loose, like. And the other thing I do, I'm single. I use a lot of mason jars, and I have this. I've got a food saver that has an attachment for jars, but this is USB rechargeable.
Ooh.
And you put it on your jar and it sucks all the air out.
Ooh, I like that.
And it was about $30 Canadian. So you can take it camping with you. And what I do is I'll make up a bowl full of cut vegetables, and then I suck all the air out so that it doesn't start oxidizing, and they can last almost a week and still be fresh. And so every time I open the lid, I just do it gently so I can reuse the lid again.
Mm-hmm.
And then after I'm finished, I just suck all the air out again. It goes in the fridge, and I've got fresh cut vegetables. They don't oxidize. They don't lose their nutrients like they would if it was in the air. And if I batch cook with vegetables, I did some zucchini and spaghetti squash, for instance. I measured out so many ounces, and then I used the bag for my food saver. Well, actually, I freeze it first. It's cleaner when you go to suck all the air out. I freeze it in a container. Once it's frozen, I stick it in a bag. I suck all the air out, and it seals it. So no air is getting in there. It doesn't have freezer burn. It'll last 2 years or more. And then when it comes out, I take it out frozen. I stick it back in the same container, and it thaws out. So I found that very, very useful for me. I love gadgets too. So.
What is the one for the mason jar called?
Well, you can find it on Amazon. If you look up probably Food Saver mason jar lid.
Okay.
And it has 2 attachments. So it has the wide mouth and the narrow mouth.
Yeah, because I use a lot of mason jars and have a lot of food that I keep in
Yeah,
them.
so even if you cooked up some potatoes, put them in a mason jar, suck all the air out. They'll stay fresh, like so much longer.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
the air.
It's really easy with this thing.
Yeah, it's the air that spoils everything.
Yeah.
And I have the food
Yeah,
saver.
you don't want your food getting the air into it.
Okay.
Right. I have the food saver, the bags with that to seal the bags. And
well, if you have one of those, you can get the attachment for the mason jar. But this I like because I can take it camping with me.
Right. Yeah. I don't take this on the road with me; it's too big. But I do.
Yeah.
I vacuum seal a lot of stuff. Like if I bring home, like, I'll see like some fresh haddock, say, and it's in a, like, you get it a lot cheaper if you get the big package. So I'll get the big package, and there's no way I'm going to eat all that. It might have 2 big fillets in it. I'll take one of them, put them in a vacuum sealer bag, seal it, and put it in the fridge. Like, I don't even need to freeze it. I just need no air on it until I finish the first piece, and then the next piece I feel like I'm starting back at square one with the freshness,
So it preserves it even without having to freeze it.
Yeah, I mean,
It
it's
makes
not
it
going
last a little longer.
Yeah, it will spoil if it's not frozen. But I'm just saying that, like, it's going to buy me a few days if I get all the air out of it.
Okay.
It's going to buy me a few days. Like, if just say you went and you got some of those meats that were the date was close. If you come home and vacuum seal that, you don't necessarily have to freeze it. You're going to buy a few days. Kind of stops that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Christmas is coming, so I figured maybe these are good things to put on my list.
There you go.
Yeah,
Santa's
exactly.
on his way.
I love when I make the list.
Yes. And up in Canada, we pay a lot for food. Like our Ludenberg rice cakes, where I get them, are over $8 a package.
Wow.
So last month though, I kept all my receipts for September and October. September started on the 9th. I spent about $500, but that's everything that I buy at the grocery store. That can include dog food and baby toothpaste and whatnot. This month, only $322, and I spent way more than that when I was eating crap. Yeah. Way more. And so I don't mind. I would love to buy everything organic, but I have to be realistic with I don't have a budget. I'm working on that. Part of the reason why I have 2 jobs right now. Never had a budget. But so I'll buy certain things organic. I kind of go with the clean 15 or whatever that dirty does. I don't know what it's called. But I do sacrifice a little bit here and there, but it's all working. Yeah. And I just appreciate all you people that are trying so hard to stick with your plan, because it makes me realize that I can do it too. I appreciate all of it.
And you've been doing really well, Rebecca. You've been on this plan for
just since the 9th of September.
Yeah.
And till November 1st I lost 14.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's
let
great.
me just expand on about the clean 15 and the dirty dozen.
Yes.
For anybody that's interested, if you go online and you Google what is the clean 15 and the dirty dozen, it gives you the 15 cleanest veggies that, like, perhaps you don't have to bother getting organic, because it doesn't take a lot of pesticides to keep them growing well. And but the dirty dozen, those are the ones. If you're going to just start, this is how I started organic, because I couldn't bring myself to pay the prices. I was like, once a month I'm going to pick something off the dirty dozen list and never, ever, ever buy the conventional again. So say I picked apples. Apples is on the list. So I said, I'm never going to buy a conventional apple again. I'm going to just buy all organic apples. So then I would go shop and get organic apples. And then the next week or month or whatever, I would say, okay, the next one was like strawberries. Okay, these are ones that they use a lot of. If they don't use all these pesticides, then they're going to be all bites out of them, and then they're not going to sell them. So so you just go down your dirty dozen until you not so that you're not buying the dirtiest ones, meaning that they use a lot of pesticides, because insects are very, very attracted to them. So just so you know, it's just good education. Dirty dozen, clean 15.
Okay, thanks, Rebecca. Christy.
Hi, Christy.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
So, Pam, I am so thankful that you shared this, because I do have young ones that still live at home. So, and my husband, they all do eat better now, but they're not eating as much as I do with the vegetables, like especially with salad wise. So me buying extra things that they're eating plus all the stuff that I'm buying for me, the vegetables specifically, it can add up. And I am on a budget because I'm a homeschooling stay-at-home mom on one income. So I'm definitely going to check out the flash foods. Here in New York City, it's a nightmare for pantries, so I just don't do it because there's just so many immigrants and low-income people that it's blocks and blocks long for the line. I would never make it through. So unfortunately, I can't do those, but I'm definitely going to check out the flash foods for sure. So, and my sweet potatoes right now are at $3.49 a pound. So, okay price, but yeah, I bought 4 fairly decent size, and it was like about $13-14 for me to get sweet potatoes. So for like the size of my hand, roughly, for one, like that's about the size they're going. But it can get pricey to try to stay eating this way. So sometimes I don't make the 16 ounces, and that could be just because I don't have enough in the fridge, or it could just because I'm not that hungry. So that actually helps a little bit. Not being too hungry. But yeah. And I'm glad you mentioned like doing like half chicken, half beans, because I'm always just doing like all chicken, like all in, and I'm buying family size packages of chicken. So that will help a little bit, stretching it, I think. And I don't know why I didn't think of that. So I'm thankful for that. I don't know how many people have this store near them. I shop here now for like the last 6 months or so. Lidl's, Lidl, and their prices. Yeah, their prices are. When I checked them out, I was like, wow, like they're not like amazing, but they're much better than some local grocery stores for a lot of stuff. So if you have one near you and you haven't checked it out, check it out, because I went from shopping my grocery. I don't shop my local grocery stores because here in New York City, they're wicked expensive. They charge you an arm and a leg just so you can only walk 1 or 2 blocks. And thank God I have a car. But I used to do my groceries at Target and BJ's. Target got wicked expensive. I found Lidl's, and I'm buying like a whole grocery cart full of stuff, including my things and my family's, for what I'd be paying for half a cartload at Target. So sometimes those discount stores, I think I want to say it's similar to an Aldi, maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. They're supposed to be building one right near here, but it's been supposed to be being built for a long time. So.
Yeah, I don't shop Aldi's only because I do if I'm somewhere else. But the one that's near me is in the mall, the shopping mall, and parking is horrendous, and you have to pay for the parking. So I'm going to pay like $7 or $8 in the parking mall to go save $7 or $8 at Aldi's. It's not worth it. And then
living right in the city is a whole nother topic.
Yeah, it's really it's extremely expensive, and I'm not sure if anyone else lives in New York City or not. I think I've seen some Long Islanders maybe or something. I'm not sure, but it's really pricey. And when I go outside the city to family members, I'm like, oh my gosh, your prices are so wonderful. And they're like, no, they're not. Like, yes, they are. When you're spending this much on, chicken or potatoes and things like that, it's a huge difference. And yeah, so I'm thankful. I did check out that Flash Foods, and they do have some nearby me.
Oh, good,
So
good.
I'm
Yeah,
definitely
I'm gonna check out that Flip one too that Kathleen mentioned, FLIPP, because I compare prices every time I'm gonna go to the store. I spend hours wasting my hair doing that. But now if I can use that, that'll save a lot of time too.
Yeah. I'll even look for coupons for certain things. You don't really find them for produce too much, but now with the holidays, sometimes if you do use canned veggies, they do have those sometimes on sale. I've noticed that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Good.
But thank you so much for sharing
You're
that
welcome,
and
Christy.
just letting everyone know, because unfortunately we all just can't buy what we really. But over the last year or so, I mean, I've only been really following Lulu's plan, and I'm still not 100% for a few months now. But on one budget, you do learn what's important to buy. I cut my own hair.
There you go.
I don't buy fancy purses. I only wear eyeliner because I don't wear makeup. Like, those are the things you find that are important. I'd rather put sneakers on my kids and buy healthy food than potato chips and go get my hair professionally cut or things like that. So
That's it, Christy.
Things, you find out what's more important to you in life, right? Your life or the hospital bill.
Right. Exactly.
Nope, keep it simple. Keep it simple.
Yeah.
Just do what you need. Thank you, Christy.
Thank you, Pam.
Speaking of that, spending money on a hospital bill, this woman, when I had my Texas meetup, and the meetup just before it even started, this woman came up to me and she said, "I just need you to know that I've been following your plan, and I've lost 35 pounds, and I just got off a medication that was costing me $500 a month." Out of pocket. She was paying $500 a month for this medication, and she's off it. And so I was just like, give me a hug this minute.
That's a chunk of change to have in your pocket every month.
Yes. I didn't even ask her what it was. I don't even know what it was.
Right.
But I know whatever it was costing her $500 a month. And she said I couldn't afford health insurance because of that. So she says now I can get health insurance with that money she was spending on this medication.
Wow. That's really remarkable. Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah. So food is very powerful. It's very powerful.
And just this whole plan, and you start like just kind of doing your thing a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
What it started.
Little did I know.
Trickled down to so many people, and you just keep doing your own thing.
Just doing my own thing. Just flipping
we just keep following you.
I just pulled out
wherever you go.
I just pulled out the Instant Pot today, and I did a pot of delicata squash, and then I did some asparagus, and I've got that. I didn't eat one bit of it because I already had my meals planned for today. Because I got used to at my meetup, what I would do every morning, I would have my breakfast, and then get dressed and ready for the day. And before I would even get out of my van, I would put together my lunch and dinner. We're all weighed and measured in my Rubbermaid Brilliance containers. Yeah. In my cooler, and then I would go out into my meetup. I had 100 women, and we just had a blast. And I just knew when it was lunchtime, I would come in, grab my container. When it was dinner time, come in and grab my container. And so I ended up doing that this morning, and my meetup's over. I think I'm in a new groove. In the morning, make breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I didn't even have to do that, but I did it.
But you're done for the day. And then you just go eat your food.
And it's interesting. It's interesting because it's not even like I want to get it out of the way. I actually enjoy it. So I felt like doing it because I enjoy it. I felt like 2 salads today. Like I said, I'm having 2 salads today because I love my salads. And I just sliced and diced everything up and made 2 of them. Put the chicken on them and the sweet potatoes, and I put the oil and vinegar on right before I'm going to eat it, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds good.
Yeah.
Yay. Okay, it's time for Barb in Rhode Island.
Barb! How you doing, Barb?
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Are you freezing up there?
No, I have my heated throw on, so I'm good.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. No, it's it's cold. It was the bird bath had ice on it this morning,
Oh
so
gosh.
that's
It was
what's
chilly
making
today.
But it's fun. So hey, so thank you, Pam, for co-hosting. You rocked it.
Oh, thank you.
You did so well. Piece of cake. I hope that wasn't what was causing you stress today. But,
No.
Oh, good. All right. Good.
No, I was
You don't
actually
think-
pretty good about this time.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you did
You're
great.
so confident.
You were
I love it.
very well prepared and confident. Yeah, Lulu, she did awesome.
Thank you.
So just a couple things. When I make veggie burgers, I use sweet potato as the binder.
Oh.
So
Oh.
I got that from a friend who's a chef, and I was like, my homemade veggie burgers are runny, you know, 'cause they were just like watery, and I couldn't, you know, I don't eat gluten, so I couldn't put breadcrumbs in them, and and so and this is all before I started this. So this is but because sweet potatoes are on the plan, you know, and it would be a grain versus a protein, so it give you some flexibility, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, you put a grain in the Pam's patties anyway, right?
Yeah, with the quinoa.
Yeah. Maybe
Yeah.
you
I
could,
was trying to make one that was strictly protein. So,
Ah.
and I will. I'll figure it out. I'll keep going. I eat them. If they're broken, I don't care.
Yeah.
I still make them too. I'm
So
making them too.
That was just an idea.
Okay, I like that.
And your ideas, Pam, are so awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I often wondered, like, I know when things go really bad, my grocer has a pig farmer that gets like stuff that you can't put back on the shelf, or even sell, or even give to a food bank or a homeless shelter, because I know a lot of their food goes to a homeless shelter. What you can't sell, but you can, as long as it's not expired, right? But I didn't know about the app that you said, and so I'm going to check that out, and the one that Kathleen said as well. So thank you for that. And you know, Pam, I'm kind of, I think I'm like, who was it? I think it was Vicky who said she's between you and Lulu, and I'm kind of in between there too. I look at some prices matter and some prices don't, because I just want it, right? But like today, the eggs I usually get for $2.99 a pound, all of a sudden were like $4.29 a pound for, I mean, a dozen. For what reason? I have no idea. So then I had to look again, because I don't know. I just think that that's too much. But you know, it's just a really, I mean, I've heard time and time again, oh, I can't be on a healthy food diet because I don't have the money to do it. And it's kind of like what Lulu said, that woman that got off what a cycle that is, right? She gets off a $500 medicine, so now she can get health insurance. And if she ever needs to go on that medicine again, well, now she has health insurance. It's like this thing that doesn't make any sense. But
I know.
So thank you for all the good ideas. I mean, whether you have low income, mid income, high income, whatever your income level is, I think it's always good to be a little bit frugal.
Yes.
And it's always good to learn. And so, and the fact that you have been so successful at this, at eating healthy, is just, you're a rock star, Pam. That's all I want to say. and one thing that I do to save on things going bad, because I can't eat them fast enough, is I like fresh fruit. And so I'll freeze them. And when I have oatmeal, I'll put frozen bananas in the oatmeal, and then it kind of cools them down a little bit, and it gets like this. Yeah. So frozen
bananas are a little sweeter too after they've been frozen.
Bananas in oatmeal with peanut butter will rock your world.
Well, that's what I'm having tonight now. Well, my breakfast. I have my breakfast at night. Sorry.
Yeah. So I freeze avocado. Well, because most people know, the one thing that I do that's not on Lulu's plan is I have protein shakes. So I'll freeze avocados, throw in that. But I know that that's not on the plan. But I freeze all my fruit. I freeze strawberries, blueberries, and bananas, and then I just frozen in my.
So you don't buy frozen fruits. You buy fresh and freeze them yourself.
No, I buy frozen fruit, but
oh,
not
you
the
buy
bananas.
Frozen. Okay.
But not the bananas.
Right.
But the bananas I have to. You just peel. You peel them. Don't put them in because you'll never get the peel off.
Right.
I just peel the bananas and I just throw them in a Ziploc, and they might get a little brown.
No, they stay nicer if you peel them first.
Yeah.
They do.
I do. Yeah.
But I always do that when the berries are kind of on their last leg, where you can kind of toss them, but they're not really moldy. They're just a little soft. Maybe toss them right in the freezer. You could do everything. Then you save them. And I actually tried the avocado for the first time. Aldi had them. So I don't always get avocados because I won't pay over $1 for one. And they had them for 69 cents. So I bought 6 of them, and I have them in the freezer now for myself going forward. So now I can have my avocado that I like. Yeah. And it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
I did it in halves.
Yeah.
And they look perfect.
Did you take them out of the skin? Did you take them out of the skin?
Took it out of the skin, and just put them in this. I froze them, not in a bag first, so they'd get hard, and then I put them in the bag.
Yeah.
But they look like they're not even going to be mushy. They're going to be able to be sliced up, just like when they were fresh.
I've seen them sold like that. I've seen them sold frozen. Yeah.
Yes,
I couldn't find them. I found them once, Lulu. Then I couldn't find them, and then I was like, "Well, I can do this with my darn self."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So then, but what I do, Pam, is I freeze them and I actually cut it in quarters.
Oh, okay.
So I get 4 quarters out of one, and I lay them flat, and I put them in the freezer in the Ziploc flat. Okay. And then once they're frozen, you just hit them on the counter, and they all break apart from each other. But they don't break into pieces, but they just break apart from each other.
Right.
Yeah, it probably should have been better to do the quarters, but that's all right. First time, I'll figure it out next time.
Yeah, it's a learning.
And they'll defrost quicker too if you did them in quarters.
Yeah. Perfect.
Good.
So thanks for all your insight. I took lots of notes, and this is going to be a highly viewed YouTube special because everybody needs to know how to save money in these times. I mean, with inflation and everything, and so.
Well, and who wants to spend extra money when you don't have to on certain things? Like, why give your money away? Just use it wisely.
Like you said, like you said, you can save on one place and then get yourself something that you might want.
Yep.
Right, and that's how I do. So, thank you, Barb.
Excellent, Barb.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, Deborah, there you are. Hi, Deborah.
Hi, Deborah.
Okay, can we talk rice cakes? Can we talk rice cakes? Okay.
I love rice cakes.
Me too. Okay, so this is our favorite, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they're expensive.
Yes.
But worth it, but expensive. Yes. Okay. So then I was at the health food store and they had these rice cakes. They're brown rice and they're no MGO, so they're organic, and they're this thick. They're thin. They're like half the width of the Lulu books. They're the same price, but they're half this thick. So I don't know how to count them. I just count them as one. The way I would count the Lunenburgs as one. And then I was at the dollar store because, I live downtown Toronto. I'm like a New Yorker too. Like this just, it's everything is expensive down here. But so I was at the health food store and they have these organic rice cakes, brown rice cakes. They're $1.50 Canadian, so they're like $1 to you guys. So And they're thin too. They're this size. Maybe, yeah. So I don't know. Like, I don't know. You know, there's nothing like, these are the best, but they're really expensive.
Right.
So I don't know.
But
What are we doing?
Well, all right. What I would do is, 3 of those regular rice cakes, not the thin ones, but the regular ones, whether they're Lundberg or, Walmart brand or whatever. But
Quaker.
Yeah, they're all, but they're just
Quaker.
yeah, they're not delicious, right? Okay.
Well, they're like eating cardboard.
Right. Styrofoam.
Yeah, styrofoam.
Yeah. So just look on the bag there and see how many calories is in one of those. 70 times 3 is 210. So how many of those would equal around 210, give or take? And then
these are 60.
Those are 60. Okay. So
for one. Okay.
For one.
And these are 50 for one.
Okay.
These are the.
So maybe one of them.
These are as expensive as the Lunenburg. They're the same price as the Lunenburgs. They're like $5 or $8, something like that. I forget.
Yeah. So just I would say just consider around 200 calories of rice cakes is a serving. So the ones that are 50, you'd have 4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just use egg and I put an egg on it.
Yeah.
So I don't need to have, because I only have 2 eggs, so it doesn't, whatever cake it's on is what I'm eating, but I'm just I'm just wondering.
But I mean, if my serving of rice cakes was 3 and I was having 2 eggs and I had 1 egg on one and 1 egg on another, I would eat another one plain because I eat 3. I eat what the food plan calls for all the time.
Oh yeah, thank you for that, because that's the crazy making that you avoid and I go into.
Yeah, it doesn't really seem like it doesn't seem like a big deal, or what's the big deal? Like if you have it or not. For me, it's a big deal. And you know what I would do?
Thank you for that, because I try and think about you saying I'm not making crazy, like I'm not adding this, adding that, bargaining here, bargaining there.
Yeah, no but, more. Let's make a deal.
I have trouble with the volume of the food plan anyway, and the timing of it. So it's all crazy for me. So thanks for smoothing that out. Good.
Now what I would do if I was having two eggs and 3 rice cakes, I would make 2 eggs in a pan, like fried eggs, like sunny side up or whatever.
I break the yolk and I have it like that.
Okay. Then what I would do is I would take a fork and a knife and I would dice it all up so that it was all little bits and pieces with the yolk and the whites, and then I would divide it into thirds. I would divide it into thirds and have it on 3 rice cakes.
Right. Yeah. And have 3 rice cakes, and then there's no crazy.
And if you're going to have the ones that it takes 4 to make 200 calories, then you can make 2 egg sandwiches.
Ooh.
Some salt and pepper.
Now you're asking me to be a chef. We're gone too far, Lulu.
No. All it means is that you put the egg on 2 of them, and you take the other 2, and you put them on top.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put some salt and pepper, maybe a little bit of.
I have a question, Lulu.
Yes.
Yeah, I have a question with the rice cake and with the saying you're counting it. Sorry, I'm losing my focus here. Going by the calories, figuring out what the other brands would be.
Yeah.
How come you don't go by the weight? Like you don't weigh the 3 Lundbergs?
Well, I guess you should. I guess you could.
I wonder what the difference would be now. See, am I getting too crazy?
No, because I didn't think of the weight because we don't weigh them. A serving isn't a weight,
True.
And I don't know,
right.
But you're right though, because it could be that those thin ones are more dense. They could be more dense and less airy. I really don't know, but I think that would show in calories. Right. If they were more dense, I think it would show in calories.
2 of these cheap ones from the dollar store that are whole organic and whole brown rice. 2 of these is 15 grams. The Lunenburgs one is 19 grams. And then these other ones from the health food store is 2 or 15 grams.
Yeah, so
So
see that
these are
it's really like it's
about
almost a
30%.
2-for-1. It's close to a 2-for-1.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, all right.
Crazy. Thank you. And where do you get
Barb,
these?
did you want to input on that one?
I think Deb is reading my mind, because I was going to ask Deb to look at the weight on the
The
and
science
then
woman,
she just went
right?
right into it, so it's all
The
good.
science woman, of course, you're weighing
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, you
Of
did
course
great,
you are.
Deb.
Yeah.
And you're
I'm
an artist.
learning
You're
from
not even
you.
science. Like,
No,
look at you talking grams.
Graham, I know him.
You know.
Okay.
Yeah, anyway,
And you're asking me to go not just into measurements, but I have to go from imperial measurements to I'm doing like international measurements here.
it's almost
You're asking
it's
me
almost
to
like
say too much.
it's almost like algebra. Yeah.
Yeah.
And not for nothing, Deb, but honestly, empirical is nuts. We should all be metric. Metric is so much easier. But
I grew up in the States. I'm an American, but I came to Canada when I was 19. So I voted in the election, just FYI. But anyway, so I always vote. So anyway, I have on my cell phone, I have the weather, right?
Yeah.
I've been here for 51 years. I still go to Fahrenheit because I don't really know what it feels like when it says it's 0 degrees out. What are you talking about? Oh, it's freezing. Okay, I got it.
That's good.
The only thing I did when I came to Canada is I changed my accent. Because in those days, I'll just tell you a funny story. I went to the store to get a box. And I asked the woman, she goes, well, we don't have a box. And I said, a box that rhymes with socks? But what she heard me say was backs that rhymes with sex. And she said to me, well, you won't find that here. And I was so mortified. It was like, oh my God, she thinks I'm asking for sex. I said, oh my God. So I went home and I changed my accents. Box, dollar, checkout counter. So that's the only thing I changed. But I'd never changed it for Fahrenheit.
That's funny. So anyway, I hope that clears that up for you. Either just try to find the equivalent when you because those thin ones, you're not going to have 3 of those thin ones, and 3 of those thick ones are not going to be the same serving. So just either go by weight or calories, and just I wouldn't have like 4.5 to make it precise.
Because that's crazy.
That would be crazy. Yeah. You always got this half hanging around, right? So I would say, either one. If it's between 4 and 5, have either 4 or 5 and just pick one and then have it all the time.
Yeah, that sounds perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you, Deborah.
Thanks.
We got Nicole next.
Nicole.
Hi, Nicole.
I love this topic, and great job, Pam, because food is expensive, if you're on a fixed income or not. And so you're right, like saving money where you can and using your money for other things. I just wanted to mention about rice cakes, the Lundberg rice cakes. One of the other options they have, Lundberg, is little square rice cakes that are the same. There's a few kinds that are all the ingredients are good for the plan. And what I do is I know the weight of 3 regular rice cakes, Lundberg rice cakes, and then I weigh out, and you can have 8 of those little squares, which is just like this bonanza of little rice cakes, which is really fun to eat with eggs. Or I like to mash up 2 hard-boiled eggs and then use it as like a little scooper.
Oh, yeah.
And I call it my eggs and toast. So I just go by the weight for those because they're the same brand, you know what I mean?
Right,
and
right.
I think 8 is just like this bonanza, like I said, so it's kind of exciting when you like to have that. So that's all I wanted to add. And then I don't know about everybody's neighborhoods, but my I think they're in most neighborhoods, this thing on Facebook called Buy Nothing Project. And you can put that on your phone for your neighborhood. And what I just started doing this because I'm decluttering a lot and I wanted to get rid of some things. And then I discovered, especially at the end of the summer, everyone like around here was posting, I have too many tomatoes, I have too many this, and you could just say, oh yes. So I mean, I ran around. My husband was like, what's this? I'm like, I just got 2 spaghetti squash from, like 4 blocks away, and I got green peppers. And I mean, it was just, you just say, yes, I'm interested. And so, it's not, obviously during the winter in Minnesota, there's not going to be a lot of fresh produce, but I loved it because I've gotten I got a bag of organic farro. So people get things and they don't like them, or they bought, one lady put out, she had like 10 bags of apples. She ordered 1 bag of apples and they sent her 10, like online grocery shopping. So I'm just like, wow, I'm just looking, to see how my posts are doing, and I'm scoring all these veggies.
Nice.
So it's called the Buy Nothing Project, Give, Ask, Gratitude. So you can check that out too.
Nothing project.
Now, is that like a group that's specific to your neighborhood, or is it a group that a lot of different neighborhoods do, like all over the country?
It's like a national program, but you would just sign up for your neighborhood.
Okay. So every neighborhood has one established. You just search for your neighborhood.
I believe so. I mean, I guess I can't say every neighborhood, but people in other states, and yes, like
so, like maybe
my mom is in her neighborhood, my sister's in her neighborhood one. So yeah,
good.
So is it on Facebook? Did you say? I'm sorry, I missed that part.
Yeah.
So Buy Nothing Project.
Buy Nothing Project, or you could go to www.buynothingproject.org to learn more about it.
Okay.
And then, I just searched for it in my search, and I found my neighborhood. So yeah.
What a great way to get rid of stuff too. So somebody just comes to your house and takes it if they're interested in it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You start a little chat with them, like I'll put it on the doorstep or whatever, and
Good.
But really great for like more rural areas where people have big gardens and have an overabundance.
Yeah.
And you can get a lot that way. That's nice. Or eggs. Because I know my sister likes to get eggs from the farmer down the street from her, and they're $5 a dozen. So when they're in the grocery store and they're that price, she's like, I'm not buying them there. I'd rather give the farmer the money. So yeah.
Great.
That's cool, Nicole. Thank you.
Yeah, very good.
Could I add one more thing?
Yeah. Where are we? Oh, Rebecca.
So I'm trying to eat mostly vegan. The only thing I've added back in is eggs. But for yogurt, I get Eden yogurt. And here in Canada, it's around $5 for a liter. And I make my own yogurt. You have to get a starter for the yogurt. And I just use I get a container of yogurt that has the bacteria in it. And I can make 4 of these for $10 in my, I use the, what do you call it? The thing you use.
Instant Pot?
Lulu.
The Instant Pot?
Instant Pot. Yeah, for 24 hours. And so like half a quart, so it ends up being about $2.50. And it's just as beautiful a yogurt as you can imagine. So
homemade yogurt. Imagine that. I see the button on there that says yogurt. I mean, I've never used it. I don't use any of the buttons except for pressure cook.
It's so easy. You just have to make sure everything's sanitized and so you don't get bacteria.
Oh, yeah. I don't know that. I'd be scared I'd mess that up.
Do you think you could put that on our Facebook group? Because that would be awesome.
Okay.
That would be really great. Thanks.
How to make the yogurt in the Instant Pot? Is that what you said, Nicole? Yeah. Okay, good.
It's so incredibly easy. It's ridiculous.
Wow.
It's exciting.
Yeah, very
it's
good.
cool trying something new, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Rebecca, if you could also talk about how you sanitize, because that would make me nervous as well. So I don't know that I would, especially, I don't have brace yourself. I don't have a dishwasher. I've never used the dishwasher.
Yeah.
So how would you sanitize if you didn't have a
Right.
dishwasher?
So you could just use a soapy sink water with a tiny bit of bleach in it, and make sure your hands are clean. Use paper towel instead of to dry. If you're going to dry it, use paper towel and throw it away instead of like a kitchen towel that maybe has been used already. Yeah, and you don't want to use anything metal, because metal apparently can destroy some of the bacteria. So you use like silicone, glass, wood, that kind of thing.
Okay, great, thanks. So maybe that could be part of your discussion when you put it on Facebook.
I'll do that. Yeah, thanks.
I'm with you there, Christy. I got you. The non-dishwasher people.
My dishwasher has a name, and it's called Michael, my 14-year-old son.
There you go.
Perfect.